What's up, everyone? This is Super Marcel, and welcome back to Jurassic Park Operation Genesis Jurassic March. In the last episode, with the dramatic music and stuff, it's pretty cool, honestly. We got in these guys, the Streptospondylus. They're going on and about, hunting whatever comes out of the feeder, which I'm pretty sure is goats and blah blah blah. And yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all we've gotten. For this episode, we're hoping to expand the park more out this way for the Africa zone. So we're gonna have a Rhinoceros over here, maybe something else depending on what we find in Africa. I'm planning on getting a Carcharodontosaurus in here, but I also think I should probably plan to get some more guest buildings because I don't want like complications of like the guests dying from malnutrition, because that's a thing that can happen, I guess. Oh, we can get Suchomimus. So that's another, yeah, Hypacrosaurus, and it's a large. Perfect. Okay, so we're definitely getting Hypacrosaurus, which is good, because I do actually kind of want to talk about this dinosaur. I did look into this dinosaur quite a bit, and it is, honestly, is a pretty interesting dinosaur. Egyptosaurus and Prenocephaly. Ooh. I'm not sure what Egyptosaurus is, but I'm sure I'll look more into it. Yeah. Right. In other news, I guess, you know what? Yeah. Let's do some building, right? Let's just build stuff while we wait for this other stuff going on, right? So recently, if you guys have been like old school and you've been following for a little while, I went into like a high security fencing for here. But you would probably know that the reason why I even do Jurassic Park Operation Genesis in March of all times is because March is my birth month. In fact, the 15th of March is my birthday. So I had my birthday, and it was pretty fun. No, I flew down to Sydney and I got to see Lincoln Park. It was wicked. Yeah, it was awesome. I'd never seen something like that in my life. You know, like I walked in to like the stadium and whatnot, right? And immediately, like we're introduced with the opening act, which was like these guys called, what were they called? Like Polaris or something, right? And just immediately I'm just hit with like death metal. It's just like, I know Linkin Park is like, you know, also pretty like metal and stuff, but these guys were like on a different level, you know. Yeah, but I went down, I watched them live, and it was awesome. I had a great time. Yeah, seen them live. The hotels to sleep there, I will admit, weren't great. You know, like what do I want to look into this time? It's got a visitor shelter, I guess. Right? Suchomimus is now at 69%. Hell yeah. You know, because like well, okay. Let me rephrase that a little, right? I think, honestly, the first hotel was pretty dodgy, right? The second hotel, we were like on this really tall building and whatnot, right? And it was like, and when I say tall, I mean like it was really tall. Actually, yeah, let's make this like a little guest area. Yeah, right. And because like the bed I slept in was pretty. I'll be honest, it was pretty uncomfortable, right? It wasn't great. But the other building, we were like, we were on the top floor. I slept on the top floor, the birthday guarantee, right? I get to see through everything. I could see the stadium that of where Linkin Park were gonna play live, and yeah, it was wicked. Yeah. And then yeah, like I flew back home, and then blah 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 blah. No, I did visit Bondi actually. I visited Bondi, and we had. When I say we, I mean like me, my dad, my cousin, my aunt, right? We went to Bondi and had some Italian for dinner because that's what I like to eat. I like to eat Italian food. They're like my favorite food. I'm a big Italian guy, right? And yeah, there was it was that was nice too. It was very strange just going to Bondi and you know, because I'm so used to like watching it on like Bondi Rescue and whatnot, blah 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 blah. So to actually see Bondi in person, it was definitely a pretty surreal experience to say the least. Yeah. What do I want to put there? Like a souvenir stand? Yeah, that sounds good. Right. Egyptosaurus. What is Egyptosaurus? Oranosaurus. That's good. We want Oranosaurus. And we got Velociraptor. Should probably... we might get Velociraptor in the little mountain area that I said we were going to give them. Alright. Right. In other words, okay, how are we on the dinosaurs? So we can get Pachycephalosaurus. I mean, we might as well, right? What do I want to do with Pachycephalosaurus though? We can't get Ankylosaurus, but it only lives for 7 months, so like we'll probably let it stand for a little bit longer. We can get Hypacrosaurus, which can live for 2 years now. There's Oranosaurus. Oh, wow, okay. We'll just wait until it can live a little bit longer. Striptospondylus, Sucum. Wow, okay. That's the Suchomimus skin. Suchomimus can live for 1 year. I guess we can make a Suchomimus enclosure. That's cool. Carcharodontosaurus for 10 months. Neoveneta. Right. Okay, so we want to get... What do I want to do with Pachycephalosaurus? Do I want to put it into this big enclosure? I mean, there's heaps of room. I guess I could. Yeah. You know what? Let's do it. I'm going to get Hypacrosaurus first. We're going to get a herd of them. And then we might as well get Pachycephalosaurus, right? Because this enclosure is huge. It would fit in well. Yeah. Or I could make the Pachy's live here. That's an option. But, yeah. Right. Hypacrosaurus. There you go. There's Hypacrosaurus. Nice. Not bad. Yeah, it's not a... I like this skin. I like this. I like how this dinosaur looks. So Hypacrosaurus is a dinosaur related to Coryphosaurus. Hence, you know, it looks almost identical to it. But the main difference between Hypacrosaurus and Coryphosaurus, from what I can understand, is that I think Hypacrosaurus's crest, the famous crest that is on both dinosaurs, Coryphosaurus and Hypacrosaurus, I think Hypacrosaurus's like crest is a bit more pushed back compared to Coryphosaurus. Well, Coryphosaurus is more forward and stuff. And I also think that Coryphosaurus might be bigger. I know it's called like near tall lizard or something because at the time it was like rivaled in size with T-Rex or something, and it had like particularly huge like neural spines. Now what those spines may have been used for is a mystery. Maybe it would have been like Oranosaurus and Spinosaurus where they would have used it for heat, or maybe it would be like a fat storage. Honestly, I'm more of a fan of the fat storage. I think it makes more sense for a dinosaur like Hypacrosaurus. And yeah, in other words about this dinosaur, so this is interesting. Like I read this on a science website, right? But the problem is that when I read it, I couldn't actually find any actual sources on this supposed information or like a paper written on this. So I don't know how valid it is. But apparently from what I've read is that that there were some paleontologists that found a group of Hypacrosaurus members who all died like young, like fairly young, like teenagers. They were all teenagers. None of them were old, and there were not like a whole lot of them and stuff, right? And the fact that there were not a single adult type of around them, it suggests that maybe these dinosaurs may have split apart when they reached a certain age from the herd, and they formed their own little groups, or as the author likes to put it, cliques, right? And that is interesting because I'm normally when I think of hadrosaurs like Creeposaurus, I think of them like zebras or buffaloes, where there's like mega herds and stuff. Like there's heaps of them. But the idea that these dinosaurs may have lived in a little bit of a group and then split off at some point, and they just formed their own little small like groups of like members of their same age, rather than like sticking to this giant mega zebra herd. It's interesting. It is interesting to think about, you know. I hope it is true, because that would make hadrosaurs like Creeposaurus and Hypacrosaurus more interesting, in my opinion, if they do like split apart from each other and form their little smaller herds rather than these giant mega herds, you know. But yeah, but again, I couldn't find any actual papers on it, or like the person that written that forum didn't write any sources, so like I don't know if it's true or not. So like put it with a grain of salt, right? Yeah. Anyways, what next? We might as well get security cameras, right? And Ceramimus. Is that some kind of dinosaur related to like the ornithomimids? We'll get Ouranosaurus, right? Just so we can, you know, get it. We might actually get Ouranosaurus in this episode, which is good. Right. Okay, so back down to here in this little guest zone.
Message from Dr. Grant.
Message from Dr. Grant. Okay, yeah, let's just get your basic run-the-mill guest buildings.
Message from Dr. Wu.
Did I get two?
Hi
Wait,
there.
is this the... Oh, whoops. Hold on. I meant to get a kiosk. And a bathroom. I do need to get a little bit more land, which is fine.
Message from Dr. Wu.
And then maybe we can have like a tombstone. Can we fit some land here? We can. Okay, cool. And adios. Boom. Nice. And I think maybe we can fit like another visitors park entrance here. Yeah, yeah, we can. Sort of. No, yeah, no, we absolutely can. Hell yeah, awesome.
Message from Dr. Grant.
Yeah, we'll get rid of that.
I thought you might want to know.
Nice. Awesome. So now there's two entrances that you can go through. Oh, and we can extract even more Ouranosaurus remains. So we're absolutely getting Ouranosaurus. T-Rex is now getting on the pedestal. Although I feel like that's a bit early for that. But I don't know. So we might as well get things ready
Message from John Hammond.
for the arrival of the Ouranosauruses. Is your basic run-of-the-mill stuff. I just want to check. Do we have any? No. The carnivore feeders have all these funky stuff in them, but not the herbivore feeders. Huh. Okay. We don't have a viewing gallery,
Urgent message from Dr. Seth.
and I can't really seem to fit one either. unless I were to move the pathway down, but at the same time doing that would cause, you know, no one being able to like view into the Carcharodontosaurus later on, so like, no, I think I'd rather Carcharodontosaurus. We'll do something else for Uranusauruses. How about another viewing dome? I mean, we already have a tower here. We could have it so that like you can walk in and immediately you can see the... Yeah, let's do that. Nice. Tyrannosaurus is now at 87%. Hell yeah. The Megalosaurus are having seizures apparently. We'll just fix that up.
We really need to discuss this. We really need to discuss this.
Yeah, I know. Is there anyone else having seizures? Yep, you too. Alright. Okay, let's get ourselves some Tyrannosauruses. Nice. I'm kind of tempted to also get the Pachycephalosaurus. What? No? How about no? Alright, yeah, let's get a full herd. Why not?
Message from Dr. Grant.
Nice. We're getting a lot done today. Guess it kind of makes up for it since I skipped like 3 days worth of not doing anything. Let's go for the lethal gene. Stuff it. Rip off the band-aid.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are pleased to announce the arrival of a new and exotic herbivore from North Africa. Tyrannosaurus stands out from the crowd with her colorful sail and fun-loving attitude. Please enjoy this magnificent dinosaur.
Look at that. I don't mind this skin. It's not a bad skin. It is pretty. I will give it that. Do I think a Tyrannosaurus would have been colored like this in real life? Not likely. But at the same time, we don't really have anything to prove or what color it would have been. So like, maybe they did look like this. I don't know. It does give me like heavy like Jurassic Park 3 vibes, you know? Because that was kind of the color palette for Jurassic Park 3 for a little while, wasn't it? It was like red, white, and black. Rugops. Yeah, might as well. Nice.
Message from Dr. Grant.
Yeah. You know what? I'm kind of tempted. I don't know if with Pachycephalosaurus. I could mix the Pachys with the Tyrannosaurus just to fit in with the whole like color palette because they're both red. But on the other end of the spectrum, as far as we know, there are no Pachycephalosaurs that lived in Africa. But yet at the same time, like there's the dinosaurs back up there, and like a lot of them aren't from Europe either. What do I want to do with Pachycephalosaurus? Tyrannosaurus is now at 100%. Awesome. You know what? Yeah, stop it. Let's get the Pachys here. Bring out the volcano Pachycephalosaurus. Out with all of these dinosaurs. With the Colovosaurus, the Hypacrosaurus, and the Freddy Kruegersaurus.
What would you recommend in this situation?
Ladies and gentlemen, we are pleased to inform you that we are now exhibiting the hard-hitting Cretaceous herbivore, Pachycephalosaurus.
Oh, bloody hell, you got one massive eyeballs. Rhinocephali is now at blah 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 blah. Maybe what we could do is that like when we do split off into this direction, maybe we could do like a whole like Asia theme. But that'll be in another episode. I do think that like we're due for a big carnivore, so I think Carcharodontosaurus or maybe even Suchomimus will put into this big enclosure here. But otherwise, I'd say we're doing pretty well this episode. We expanded here. We got more guest building stuff over here. It's not the perfect. It's not super stylish, but it does the job. We got an Ouranosaurus, and we got an Pachycephalosaurus, and we got an Hypacrosaurus. Wherever they are, there they are. Yeah, very cool, very cool. I'm actually quite glad that I got Hypacrosaurus. When I researched it, I did find it to be quite an interesting hadrosaur dinosaur. But yeah, but anyways, if you guys enjoyed the video, click the like button.
Dr. Grant.
If you want to see more, click the subscribe button. And I'm Super Marcel. Hold on. I'll do that in the next episode. And make sure you have a super time. Bye-bye! You want to make a call for me? Make a roar? Mom! Got it.